Hey folks, Mav's Dad here back with another watch review. I've got something really nice for you today. Today we have the Seiko Prospex 200 meter Kinetic Quartz diver, model number SBCZ025. And as usual, we'll open it up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and I'll give you my overall impressions of this really nice Seiko Prospex JDM, which stands for Japanese Domestic Market, version of their Kinetic Quartz diver. Now, typical Seiko Prospex watch box, these are always white, and the actual box inside is always black. There you go. As well as whenever you get a Kinetic watch, the manual is always in green, whether it be the normal big size Kinetic manual for the Americas or the overseas versions, especially the Japanese domestic market, which is basically the small little folded up manual inside this plastic sleeve right there. That's how you always can tell when you're getting a Japanese domestic market version of a Seiko. It comes with this type of manual. So there you go. All right, this comes on a black watch pillow. Let's go ahead and put all this stuff away. Let's get into the review. All right, as usual, we'll go ahead and put all the specs on the left-hand side of the screen, then we'll go more into detail. Now this actually replaces the old model, which is the SBCZ025. This is the old Japanese-made version without the Prospex branding. And it also replaces the non-Prospex branded, non-Japanese model, which is the SKA371. So this basically replaces all of those different models, okay? So you're looking at a 45 millimeter case. It's 14 millimeters thick. It's on a 20 millimeter bracelet. It's 200 meters water resistant, which is 660 feet. It's got the 5M62 kinetic movement. It's got a 6-month power reserve. It's got a hardlex crystal. Of course, it has LumiBrite all over the indexes and hands. It's got a unidirectional bezel. It does have a dive extension because this is a dive watch. It does also have a screw down crown, again, because this is a dive watch. It has a date function over here at 3 o'clock. It has a power reserve pusher up here at 2 o'clock. And of course, being a Japanese domestic market version of this watch, it is made in Japan. So again, there have been many iterations of this watch, but this to me is kind of the pinnacle. With Prospex now being sold in the United States, basically Seiko has rebranded all of these. The SBCZ011s, these are now the SBCZ025. It's got the Prospex branding on it. You can see that it's actually made in Japan. So I like, what they've done. I don't think it's too much lettering on here. I mean, I like it. I think first of all, it's a fantastic watch. I've always loved the look of this watch. So let's check out the case. Typical case, you have brushed areas, you have polished areas. Now, if you look right here, this is not your typical case in the fact that if you look at these are kind of like Allen head screws for the bracelet. Really interesting, kind of a real industrial look to it. I like it. So it's not going to be quite as easy to take this off the bracelet off the case as it normally would be. Interesting design feature for these new watches. Really cool. So again, like the case, you have a polished crown, polished pusher. Of course, the case has a nice little curve, so it really does hug your wrist. I really do like the case. Typical Seiko bracelet. Now, it being a dive watch, you're going to have a dive extension. And I always like to demonstrate this for people because I get so many questions about how to work this dive extension. Basically, you just take your fingernail, go under there, you pop it, it pops open, and then you extend it. And it gives you, what, about an inch maybe? About an inch of extra room. And this is meant to fit over a wetsuit if you're a diver. And that's its only purpose. It's not really meant to actually size the watch. If you want to size the watch, actually, get the links. Either get a new link or go over here to the micro adjustments and actually adjust the watch. You can see right there, I have it on the second one in. You could actually go further out. It'll make it a little bit bigger. Go one more in, it'll make it a little bit smaller. So you don't use this to size a watch. You use this just to put it over a wetsuit. So then all you do is you go over here, you hook it, and then you go in here and you snap it. There you go. That is your dive extension. So let's also look at the dial. I love the depth of this dial. It really does have a kind of a three-dimensional look because you have the inner chapter ring that sits on top of the regular dial. All the markers, the indexes are applied. A lot of depth. I like the hands. I love the look of this watch. I kind of wish they had put some sort of white bezel around the date window to kind of, delineate it a little bit from the rest of the dial. I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe they couldn't do it because right here you can see a little luminous pip over here at 3 o'clock. I'm not quite sure why they didn't do it. I think it would have been, you know, kind of cool for them to do. So anyway, there's your dial. Of course, your bezel. Now, this is probably my only pet peeve is this bezel. This bezel is pretty easy to turn. It's not, you know, loose and just kind of turning by itself. It's a little bit loose. I wish the bezel was a little bit tighter, because even kind of a moderate little bump is going to make the bezel do that. And if you wear this watch, you'll notice that the bezel will do that once in a while. Again, not a big deal, but I wish it was a little bit tighter. No big deal. Other than that, I have no qualms with this watch. I love the way it looks. Obviously, it tells great time with that Kinetic quartz movement inside, and having a 6-month power reserve is also great. And I'll demonstrate this pusher up here. What you want to do is you want to wait until the second hand gets to 12. And when it gets to 12, you go ahead and push the pusher, and depending on how far that second hand goes, from 12 to 6 tells you how much power reserve you have left. So let's go ahead and do it right now. I'm going to push it. There you go. So it went to 20. So I think 20 is about 3 months, I believe. Now after it's done, it's going to go back to regular timekeeping. You'll see that second hand start moving again. It'll just go back to regular timekeeping. In probably a couple seconds here, I'm guessing. You'll see it start moving. There you go. Anyway, I think like if it went to just 5, it's like 3 or 4 days. If it went to 10, it'd be like a week. 3 would be like a month. 4 would be a couple months. And then 6 is a full 6-month power reserve. So it gives you a really good idea of how much power you have in reserve for this watch. Just a fantastic looking watch. And I like the fact that it's made in Japan. Some people don't feel that that's a big deal. I don't know why it is, but it is to me. I like my watches made in Japan. You do pay more of a premium if you were to get your Citizens and Seikos that are made in Japan. I mean, they make great stuff. Bottom line, the whole world knows it. I know it. You should know it by now too. Is this watch, because basically Seiko has manufacturing facilities in Japan and Malaysia. Is this watch any better than the Malaysian version of this? Absolutely not. I just like that it says Japan down there. And if you look on the case back, you see, let me see where I can find it. Right there. Right where my finger's pointing. I don't know if you can see that or not. Made in Japan, right there. I don't know, I just like it. They've got me. Their marketing gimmick has definitely hooked me. There you go. So anyway, now another thing, a commenter about a week or so ago thought he knew his stuff, and I had to smack him down a little bit. If you buy if you buy a Japanese domestic market version watch, bottom line one that's made in Japan, he said, well, you know, the Seiko Service Center in the United States won't service us. That's absolute bull. They will service any watch that Seiko makes, whether it be a Japanese domestic market version or one made in Malaysia. They service any watch that's made anywhere in the world at any of their manufacturing facilities. The Seiko Service Center, which is located in New Jersey, will definitely take care of your watch. I've sent back a couple watches to Seiko, a couple watches that were made in Japan, have absolutely no problem. And another thing I wanted to let y'all know about, and I've said this in a couple of my videos, but I like to reiterate it, that if you need a couple links for any Seiko watch, I don't care if it's a watch that was made 50 years ago, Seiko will send you up to 3 free links, absolutely free, for any watch that they make. So for instance, you know, if you want one of these, you call Seiko Service Center, say, hey, look, I need 3 links for the SBCZ025, which of course are the same links for a couple of these different watches. They'll send them to you absolutely free of charge, no shipping, no cost to you whatsoever. They'll get to your house about 3 or 4 days, which I absolutely love. Actually, Citizen does this as well as Seiko. They really, really are good to their customers. I actually had a couple links sent from Citizen for a titanium watch that I have, the Satellite Wave, and those links a piece, if I were to have to buy them, those links are about $25 a piece for one link because they're titanium. But anyway, Citizen sent them to me for free shipping again. So I love that Citizen and Seiko do that for their customers. Really, really cool. So let me go ahead and try this thing on real quick. Again, as usual, Seiko watches fit me out of the box with next to no adjustment. There you go. Great wrist presence. Just a fantastic looking watch, man. I love these new lugs right here. I like that. Really cool. So there you go. That's what it looks like on the wrist. Again, I wish this bezel was a little bit tighter. See, there you go. If I do a little bit harder, it's going to move. And it's not, again, not a big deal. I mean, it's not like if you just barely touch it, it moves. But if you apply any sort of force, it's going to move a little bit. And I could probably send this back and have them adjust it, make it a little bit tighter. I might actually do that. But again, not a big deal. Something I can definitely live with for this watch. I really, really like this watch. Let's go ahead and test out the lume. Let me kill the light here, the studio light. Let's go ahead and pop this with some lume. You can already see it shine a little bit there. And as usual, you know what's going to happen. Lumerite's going to light up like crazy. There you go. Man, Seiko, I don't know what they did, how they engineered this lume to be so much brighter than just about anybody else out there. But God, it's just great, great lume. You can easily, even the actual indexes light up the hands almost a little bit, even though the hands actually have lume on them themselves. I mean, it just really, really lights up that dial. And I guess I'm a little bit of a lume geek. I like good lume on watches. I don't know what it is. I love it. So let me go ahead and turn the light back on. All right. So there you go, folks. I mean, that's been about it for this one. Again, this is just another reiteration of this Kinetic Quartz. Again, there have been a few different versions of this. This is kind of like I said, the pinnacle of this version. It's the Prospex branded Japanese-made version. So there you go. Really, really cool watch. I like it. There have been a ton of reviews on this already, but I want to give you my take on this Japanese-made version, the latest Prospex iteration of this watch. So anyway, so if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I really, really do, guys and gals. Appreciate all the subscribers. I try to give you all the best reviews I can. So anyway, with that being said, I've got something really, really special coming up in about a week that I'm like a 5-year-old kid. It's like Christmas for me. I cannot wait for this watch to get here. I'm so excited I can't even talk. Anyway, it'll be here in about a week. It's brand new, and I cannot wait to get you to do a review on it. But anyway, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it'll be here in about a week, and the review will be up in probably about a week and a half. So anyway, that's it for this one. Again, this has been the Seiko Prospex. See, I'm so excited I can't even talk. The Seiko Prospex 200-meter Kinetic Quartz diver, model number SBCZ025. Until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.